Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another episode of What's Hot with Sea of Tranquility. We're celebrating new release day here on the channel each and every Wednesday. In case you don't join us regularly, we do this every Wednesday. We've been doing that for quite some time. If you ever want to catch up on all the old episodes and old album reviews we've done, we do have a playlist for What's Hot with Sea of Tranquility, new album reviews, and that's one of the many playlists that we have here on the channel. You can always go and skim through that and see all the stuff we've covered, or do a little search here on the channel. That'll find you things probably even quicker, right? So today, we're going to take a look at the new box set, the new live box set from the vaults, from Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, live at the Fillmore in 1997. Yes, indeedy. Lots of stuff here, as you can see, 4 CDs. Back in 1997, Tom Petty and the band played a historic, month-long gig or spell or jaunt, whatever you want to call it, at the historic Fillmore West, out in San Francisco. And residency, that's the word I was looking for. A month-long residency at the Fillmore West. And basically just kind of camped up, put up shop in the local neighborhood there. And they stayed down in that area down in San Francisco and basically just lived down there and just played a whole bunch of shows. With, themselves, the band, and Tom Petty classics, and lots of guest stars, and just had themselves a ball, taking time away from playing the big, huge arenas and playing in front of, a much smaller crowd on a nightly basis. And basically, it came at a time in the history of the band where they kind of needed to do something like that. They needed to kind of change things up a little bit, and it really invigorated them going forward. And so here we have kind of hand-picked, and they recorded all the shows. And so what they did was they hand-picked a lot of the best moments from across the month-long engagement there and put together 4 discs to kind of commemorate all these years later, right? I mean, it's amazing to think how long ago that was, 1997, not like it was 10 years ago or 5 years ago, right? So let's take a little unboxing look. So here we go again. We got the top, and this is a pretty sturdy box. I know Davey doesn't like when we do this, but yeah, it's just kind of show you the quality here. And then you've got this little thingy here to lift up all the stuff, right? So we're going to take a look at what is in here. So before we get to the actual CDs, let me show you the other stuff here. So we've got here kind of like the access pass, right? Your little thing put on your lanyard, right? Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, the Fillmore, San Francisco, 1997. Got that. You have a patch, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, the Fillmore House Band, right? That's kind of like what they were for a month. We've got the little hype sticker. Steven, I saved that for you. Little hype sticker came on the front of the box. And then you've got, of course, 3 guitar picks from Scott, Mike, and Tom. And again, it's kind of housed in like a little CD, a little cardboard CD case, which is kind of neat, right? So you got some guitar picks. And then you have the booklet, which is kind of neat. I kind of like that shot. It reminds me of the old photographs from the Fillmore from back in the late 60s and early 70s, where you'd see these, young people, the people attending the shows, and they're right up on the stage, and you see, Jimi Hendrix's leg or foot right there, or whoever, Jeff Beck, or whoever it might be, and it's like, wow, you could get that up close and personal right back in the old days. Kind of hard to do that today, but here, as you can see, that's kind of happening. And then here is a whole booklet, a very cool read, with pictures, photographs from the shows that really kind of talks about, what the band went through in that month residency. And again, how much fun they had and how it totally reinvigorated the band, and how they had, Roger McGuinn and Carl Perkins and all these guest stars who kind of came by to help celebrate and jam with them. And as such, there are a ton of cover songs in this collection, in this set, that were played during this run at the Fillmore. And at first, when I was listening to all these CDs, I was kind of thinking, man, it's a lot of covers. I keep, like at times, some of these discs have like maybe 30-40% of the songs are cover songs. And, while there are, a good number of Tom Petty classics on here, my first observation and first thought as I was listening is like, I wish there was more. Like there's so many covers, and they're fun, and they're really, really well done. But I was a little bummed. I was like, oh man, I want, more Tom Petty original stuff, or, more than what they have. There's plenty on here, obviously, but I was kind of like, I was a little bummed that there were so many cover songs. But then as I go in, after I listened to all of this, and then I went and read the booklet, and you kind of hear how important and how much fun it was for the band to play a lot of these cover songs and play some of these songs with these guest stars and musicians that they admire and whatnot. It kind of made more sense to me, and I think it helped me come to grips a little bit more with the track selection of the final presentation here, and how that was so much an important part of their residency, and just having fun playing music again, and not, playing the big arenas and pumping out the same, 12, 13, 14, 15 songs every single concert. This was an opportunity to them to just get up and jam and play some old favorite songs, and maybe play some oddities and rarities from their catalog, play some of their favorite songs from some of their heroes and inspirations. And once you kind of read how important that aspect was, it made me look at this whole set a little bit differently. And now going in and re-listening to it again, I'm kind of like, all right, you can kind of feel those vibes, and you can feel the kind of hunger again, and the whole enjoyment of just playing music with Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, who even at this stage in 1997, they had been around since the late 70s, right? So you're still talking like many, many years, right? So yeah, it's fun, and I'll go through some of the track list in a bit. One thing that I do not like from this set is these are the CDs, right? You can't even put the track listing on the back, guys. Come on. It's like if I decide I want to just bring a couple of these out into the car, right, and not bring the whole box, sometimes when I'm driving, I may, if the track listing's not coming up on my CD player, I may, pull out the CD and quickly glance at it to see a song title or something. You ain't doing that here, right? That's kind of lame. You're giving us all this other stuff. You can't put the track listings on the back of these things. And, even the design of them is just, it's really plain Jane. I guess it's supposed to look a little psychedelic, as a throwback to the Fillmore. I get it. But please, track listings on the back would have been so much cooler. But, again, not a deal breaker by any means. So let's, of course, I didn't put this back in the correct way. Come on, Pete, get with it here. Let's do that again. There we go. All right, so let's talk about some of the stuff that's on here. And it's a really great sounding live set. Again, there's tons of songs on here. You've got tons of stuff across 4 CDs. You got things like Jammin' Me and Running Through a Dream and, all sorts of classics here from the band. But there's, lots of jams too. That's kind of cool. Lots of cool jams. And another thing you read about in the booklet is how Tom and Mike were like trading off lots of solos. And Mike at one point was like, man, Tom's wanting to take a lot of solos during this run here. I thought I was the lead guitar player in the band, which I think is kind of neat. And there's a lot of back and forth with the audience here. What else? You got 8 Miles High. They play from the Byrds. They do a couple Byrds tracks on here. You have John Lee Hooker's here as well. I forgot to mention that. I Got a Woman, Shaking All Over, lots of covers. Bye Bye Johnny, Louie's on here, Gloria, It's All Over Now. You got Satisfaction by the Stones, Knocking on Heaven's Door. I Won't Back Down is on here. You Are My Sunshine, right? It's Good to Be King. It's here for Scott and Howie, Friend of the Devil, American Girl, Even the Losers, The Wild One, Forever Angel, Dream, You Really Got Me, Crazy Mama. So much stuff. I mean, there's tons of material on here. Tons and tons of material. Like I said, there's little jams. There's lots of old blues standards. There's old school rock and roll covers. There's plenty of Tom Petty classics, old and new. Yeah, there's if you're a fan, you're going to want to get this. It's just a really cool live album. This is not going to be like the earlier live album they put out, was it the Live Anthology, which is, just a lot of really cool stuff that you want to hear from Tom Petty. This is kind of like, all right, we played a month at the Fillmore. We played all sorts of cool stuff. Here are some things that you probably never expected us to play, right, along with some favorites. And, it's cool. So check it out, and I love the cover art on this. I think it's absolutely terrific. Again, it's a throwback to the old live albums from the 60s. But Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, live at the Fillmore, 1997. Go check it out. It's pretty affordable. So this is, you can't not give this anything but a 4 out of 5 or 4.5 out of 5 star. I mean, it's that good. So if you already have it, let us know what you think in the comments below. Otherwise, if you go and investigate it, come back at some point and say, hey, this is what I thought of that live album. So there you go. Visit us on the web at www.citytranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. All together, all the damn time. Stay tuned for more stuff here on Wednesday. Should have a couple more, hopefully, new releases for you. Otherwise, stay tuned tomorrow for The Monsters Den. Friday morning at the Funhouse with Martin Popoff on Friday. Saturday's the UK Connection. And Sunday is Ranking the Albums Day. 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Ranking the albums of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. As it turns out, right, on Christmas Sunday. So thanks for watching. I am Pete Pardo. We'll see you real soon. Please hit that like button before you leave, and subscribe if you haven't already, and click on that notification bell so you get alerted of all of these videos as they post. Till later on, I am Pete Pardo. See you soon. Bye-bye.